right. Well, here we are, finally. A little late this morning. Sorry about that. Happy Friday, though, to all of you ponderers out there, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you ponderers out there. I am, as we speak, opening a Valentine's Day card from my wifey, and she has put me down as number one husband. She says, I'm more than your wife, I'm your biggest fan. So there we go. I have this tiny little fan here in the office, about that big around. I always say that's my biggest fan. But no, apparently not. And so, yeah, sweetheart. So I am taking her out to dinner tonight, and I have a surprise for her too. But she is, so that should be cool. Anyway, yeah. So I hope you're doing well. You survived another week. Congratulations. That's great news. I did as well, barely. This has been an insane time for me at work, because we're just, it's, I don't even know how to describe it. Not enough manpower, a lot of work. So I'm going. Had a good rehearsal last night with the praise team for Sunday, so that's good. It's been a good week all in all, just crazy busy, and today is no exception. Good morning, Fred. Great to have you aboard, my friend. I have a stress test today, too, at the cardiologist, which is a follow-up from the other stress tests that I failed. And I think this is, if I understand, I'm not 100% sure what they're doing with me today. But from my buddy in Florida who's been through this, he's telling me that this is chemical. So you don't really go on the treadmill this time. It's more they hook you up and give you something that makes your heart act like you're exercising. And he says, oh, it's great. You're going to feel like you're going to explode. Oh, nice. Excellent. And it's just like a ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. And then after they get all their measurements, then they give you an antidote and it stops right away. So that's what he told me. I don't know. We'll see. In case my heart explodes, it's been great being with you here on Pondering. And you guys are awesome. You definitely are awesome. So, so I have that in the midst of a bunch of visits, and then some more visits tomorrow, and then some business tax prep stuff tomorrow, and then Sunday. And Sunday I'll be preaching at Lifeway. In fact, let me give a little plug for Lifeway Church. We would love to see you there, or have you join us via the internet. You can do so on the Lifeway Church Facebook page. We live stream our service, at least the message and some other announcements and whatnot, every Sunday, and the services are live here in Newington at 2172 Berlin Turnpike if you'd like to join us. 9:30 and 11:15 a.m. every Sunday morning, and also via Facebook. And I'll be preaching this Sunday on relationships, kind of part 2. Relationship Rules is the title of the series. And in this set of the series, this sermon, we're going to be talking about, how can I put it? We're going to be talking about the relationships that involve authority. Whether you're under authority or you are the authority, how do you handle that? And we'll use Paul's discussion about parents and children, but also his comments in Ephesians 6 about masters and servants, or we would say probably employers and employees if we took it into our cultural context. So we'll be talking about a lot of that stuff on Sunday. We hope you'll join us. Love to hear from you. If you have questions about us, check out Lifeway Church, LifewayCH, I should say, .com, LifewayCH.com, or call us at 860-436-9216. You can also email here to the program if you want to get in touch with us or share. In addition to sharing in the live stream, as some of you are, you can also email ponderingradio@gmail.com, or you can call us and leave a message if we're not here, 860-500-7163, 860-500-7163. So hello to Brenda, who's with us, and Jerry, and Leah. Leah says, if it's Free for All Friday, I have a few questions, but I'm driving. Yeah, absolutely. We haven't done Free for All Friday in a while, and I was actually this morning going, I don't know what I want to talk about, other than to wish you all happy Valentines and hope that you have some time with those you love, not just sweethearts, but people that are good and important in your life, who you care for. But yeah, fire away, Leah. Absolutely. We haven't done a free for all Friday. The way free for all Friday works is that there are no topics that are necessarily planned by your host. That would be me. Instead, you just throw out questions, thoughts, comments, a verse, whatever it is, and I must respond. Hopefully, the old gray matter is functioning. But it should be, because that's what this show is about. And in case you're listening via podcast, or this is your first time watching us live, Pondering is a show where we ponder things. We don't just take the sound bites and swallow them. We don't take things at face value. We think it through, and then we talk about it. And we have no holds barred in terms of topic, but we do all this from a biblical worldview. And while we may have other views shared on the show, we agree not to be disagreeable. That means we can point out facts and information and logic, but we don't have to call names and get ugly, other than I already am. But you know what I mean, in terms of being mean, we don't have to get ugly. So, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. Love to do some questions, comments, thoughts, whatever's on your heart this fine day. It's a beautiful day out there. Sunny, blue skies, but cold. Very cold this morning. And I believe from the forecast it's supposed to continue into the weekend here in central Connecticut. So be prepared. I would love to see some snow. I know that sounds sick and twisted. Please forgive me. I did grow up in Buffalo, so I don't mind it as long as I don't have to move it. You know, if somebody else is going to plow it or whatever, it's all good. It's pretty. But right now, no snow, just a little cold weather moving in. So any questions you have, any thoughts you have, any topics you want to dive into, any verses you want me to exegete. We used to joke in Bible college that exegesis for some people meant exit Jesus. They would put their own thoughts into it and push him out. That's not the kind of exegesis we teach on this program. Oh, you'd have to call. Well, you can call 860-500-7163. Let me just make sure everything's working. Oh, yeah, everything's working. So if you want to call in, Leah, that's fine. I know you're driving, yes, so it's hard you can't type questions per se. 860-500-7163. If you wish to do so, and we'll put you right on the air here. As my cousin used to say, Lord willing, if the creek don't rise. Theoretically, this will work, because it has in the past. I think there's anything else I wanted to tell you about the weekend. I guess not, but yeah, we'd love to have you come on Sunday, and love to hear your thoughts about the series, too. This is interesting. God has had me repeatedly in this topic of marriage and relationships. And this is the year for that, apparently, because I'm doing a series at church, which Pastor Steve asked me to do. I wasn't thinking of that per se. I'm doing that in Zambia in April when I go there, and we're doing it at the Iron Sharpens Iron conference in Buffalo in a couple of weeks. It just it's come up a lot, so that's good. Lee, I don't know if you're trying to call in. It's 860-500-7163 if you're wanting to do that. So, and anyone else as well can do that. So I'm going to leave it right here in case that works for you. All right, what else is going on? I don't know. I'm trying to think about today. I appreciate your prayers about the stress test thingy. I'm not worried per se, just I don't like these things. Plus, I have to fast. I can't eat anything. And, no coffee this morning. I don't know if Susie's on, but, Susie should be mourning for me. 860-500-7163. 860-500-7163. So, yeah, without the coffee, and I have a visit down in, I think, Woodbridge this morning. I have to go down there and then come back, do the stress test, then go up north, hit 3 or 4 or 5 visits up there, and then get back here so I can take my sweetie out for dinner, hopefully, if all goes as planned. And I think I asked you guys to pray for Chuck also, Pastor Chuck, who's had some health problems. Good news, the surgery went well. They were able to get all the infection out of there, and he's now just in recovery to get back on his feet. So we thank you for your prayers. All right, let's try this. Good morning. Is this Leah Nichols, the woman, the legend? Oops. It was, but we lost her. Okay, I think we had her. Let's try that again. That's weird. I don't know why we can't seem to get her. Leah, give it another shot. It rang, and then when I picked up, you were gone. So I'll give it another try here. Let's see what happens. Yeah. The wonders of modern technology, folks. Do not adjust your sets. This is a test. This is only a test. For the next 60 seconds, you'll hear dead air. In the case of an actual emergency, that's exactly what you'd hear, because I would leave. Or run screaming out of the house, you know. I don't know, Leah. Maybe you got a bad cell connection where you are, but we heard it ring, and then there was nobody home when I answered. 860-500-7163 if you want to give it another shot. So, yeah, thank you for your prayers for Chuck. Thank you for your prayers for me, for others who are in need this fine day. And, you know, we know that works, doesn't it? We know that. Oh, my lovely wife is calling me. She's leaving me a prayer message. That's what she's doing. I cannot answer that one without losing the two of you, without losing you guys here on the show. Well, Leah, I guess I don't know what happened, but it's not working. So I'm going to put that away, and we will move forward. Hold on one moment, folks. There. In case you could hear that buzzing, I'm going to shut that off. All right. So, yeah, no topics from the rest of you. No thoughts, questions, comments. If not, I will forge ahead with whatever's on my brain here, which is not much today. I guess the one thing that I think of for Valentine's Day is the idea. Oops. Well, we'll try one more time here. Sorry, folks. Is this Leah? Oh, it worked. Eureka. Well, I understand. No problem. I figured that's what happened. Oh, by the way, Susie says good morning. Good morning, Susie. So what's on your mind there, my dear? Uh-huh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Does she have a background going to church or growing up in church? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's why I asked about her background, because sometimes people have been burned or they feel like they've been burned, and that's that. So now all churches are the same in their mind, and every experience is going to be like that. And I have to be in a certain place of strength and mental fortitude to go. And that's so ironic, because as you know, and obviously you're trying to get her there for this reason, the church is a hospital for sinners. So, you don't go because you're so strong that you can handle it. You go because you're not strong and you need it, and we all do. And some of my best days at church are days where I felt like I just didn't want to go, couldn't go, and felt miserable. So you go there, and then God blesses you. But I get it. She doesn't see that necessarily, and so what I would encourage is maybe take her through some interim steps. First, see if maybe she would agree to meet with you and do like a little Bible study / just time of devotions where you read some stuff together. And if maybe there's some things there that you could help her, that would help her, in her walk and her journey and feeling closer to God, and open the door for prayer. And then maybe go from there to a life group, a small group where she's with other people, but it's not church, necessarily. And once that's not so bad, then those people who probably go to that same church and say, hey, why don't you come with us this Sunday? And now she's got a little cocoon she's in of friends, and might take that step. So in other words, you're breaking it down into baby steps, and not just the big leap into this church maybe where she doesn't know anybody and doesn't know what to expect, and there's all these people. It might be nice to break it down into baby steps. I always recommend too, if you think there's a spiritual dynamic to the problem and the pain, anything that Neil Anderson's written, stuff that she could begin to read, like Victory Over Darkness or The Bondage Breaker, or any number of, he's written 30 books, but something like that to just get her thinking along those lines about the spiritual battle, not just the physical battle, might be helpful. Maybe that becomes the source of your devotional with her if you do something like that. So those are just some thoughts, some suggestions. It's easier sometimes for people to take little steps than the big leap of saying, I'm gonna go to this big church, and who knows what they're gonna do there? Handle snakes, beat me, drown me in a baptismal tank, or who knows what they'll try. Yeah. It's funny, even the world recognizes this to some degree, because whenever I have to do paperwork for every patient. I have to fill out a lot of charts on a tablet I have to carry around with me. I call it my electronic albatross. And whenever I record that a patient is in pain, they always ask me a whole series of questions about other causes of that pain outside of their diagnosis, outside of their illness, emotional pain, psychological pain, and they going through, are they depressed or this? So there's all these other mental and spiritual questions that they bring up to try to determine whether that's either causing the pain or magnifying it, influencing it or exaggerating it in some way. And it's funny, I always think every time I fill those forms out, I think, yeah, well, that's true, because that certainly is something that's biblical, that we see a lot of times there's a deeper cause behind the pain, and our mental state affects our health, not just in pain, but other things too. So I know for me, there's no question the stuff that I'm dealing with right now is what's the word? A fruit of some of the stress over the last few years, and and I'm not blaming the stress either, because my response to the stress is the biggest problem. Either internalizing it or just eating it literally. Eating too much or whatever. So there's often something deeper beyond just the physical pain itself, but. Anyway, good stuff, Lee. I appreciate you bringing that up, and I hope it helps. Maybe keep us posted, and if she'll ever sit down with a big goon to talk and not be afraid, I'd be happy to talk to her too. All right, have a blessed day yourself. We'll talk to you soon. All right, good stuff on Free for All Friday, which we haven't done in a while. But we'll try to do that every week now. We'll get back into the swing here. So, Free for All Friday, again, the rules are there are no rules. Just right, mate. You can ask any question about anything, bring any topic up you want to bring up, share your thoughts on it, or whatever. So we'll do that again next week. For now, it looks like we're pretty much out of time. And I want to just pray for you before we close that you'll have a great weekend and that you'll spend some time with God and with family and people that you love tonight, tomorrow, Sunday especially. And that we'll be back together again Monday. We hope you'll share this program with your friends. I hope to see more people involved. I'd love to hear from any of you that got to hear the radio interview yesterday with Gary Byron. I thought that went very well. Gary loved it. Apparently people commented on it, wanted recordings of it even, he said, that he was getting notes from listeners saying that. So that's a cool thing. But I'd love to hear your thoughts because you matter more to me than just some random people in Gary's audience. So, hey, let me pray for you. Father, bless our folks here on Pondering. I pray for each one watching and listening that they will have time with you this weekend, that they'll have an encounter with you that's unquestionably driven by the power of your Spirit and your presence. I pray the result of that would be life-changing, life transformation. And I ask God that anything that I can do as part of that on the weekend, especially at Lifeway and the sermon, etc., that you would just move me out of the way and allow that to happen, flow right through, and let us all hear your voice. For your glory's sake, we pray these things and thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, have a great weekend. And as I always tell you, stay in the Word, keep praying, and keep on pondering. We'll see you Monday morning at 7:30. Bye for now.